Always remember, your focus determines your reality. Stay close to me, and you'll be safe.
Hey guys, how you doing? Today we're going to be doing another Padme video, but this one is going to be kind of a big one. It's going to be the all-around guide to a slow Padme team versus Darth Revan and Malak's. And pretty much what you want to just be going for here is, like, a quick overview of it is having their whole Darth Revan team go before Padme, and then she cleanses, giving big stacks of courage and big hits early on in the battle. So without further ado, we're going to go for the zetas first, and then later on we'll go for the mods and the guide for the all-around team itself. So I hope you guys enjoy. So first things first, we got to address the people that are the best versus Malak teams. So you're going to have, of course, Padme, Anakin, GK, Ahsoka, 3PO, and another one you can throw in there is R2. We will start this off by going over the Zeta order first, and then follow this up with the guide and strat to every single battle I've had so far with different types of teams. So for the Zetas, the first and foremost one you should be working on and getting done first is going to be Padme, her leadership. Second is going to be Anakin. Third is going to be GK. Fourth is going to be Ahsoka. And then fifth is going to be Padme unique. So it's going to be Padme first because her lead gives so much extra stuff to the whole GR faction as a whole. It says right here, while they have protection up, light side allies resist all debuffs and can be critically hit. That is such a huge point to this entire team and why it works so well. So next up, we're going to have Anakin being the second one in the list that needs to be done. And here we go. So especially in Malak teams and Darth Revan in general, they're going to be going up and down, below and above 50% HP all the time. So getting bonus turns makes this a lot easier, getting the cleanse, getting the heal with Padme, or getting a kick just with her special. So this is going to be the second one, and I'll show you some clips throughout this entire video of these things working in action. And yeah, this is definitely your second must-have Zeta on a team. So next up, the third one we have here is going to be GK's unique. And this is if all allies are Galactic Republic. GK taunts for turn whenever another GR ally loses any protection up. So in this slow modded team, it doesn't really work too well at the start, because typically if you were to run a faster modded Padme team, this is what would be happening with GMY being there getting the protection up. But in this team, we're not doing that. It does work a lot better later on in the battle, and actually is very clutch because most of your people will be going up and down below 50% HP. And what you want to have happen there, you want to have a surefire tank that will be there throughout the entire battle taunting, and GK serves his purpose magnificently. He will be there to soak up any of the damage that would possibly go on Anakin or Padme, and he most likely will die in most of these battles, but that's what he's going to be doing here, guys. He's going to serve his purpose very well, soaking up all the damage so that Padme can do her kick, and all the other attackers on the team can do their big damage attacks with courage on the field. So GK is going to be third on this list. So Ahsoka would be the next one. I guess you could say over here Yoda could be potentially the other one with his battle meditation, but I know a lot of people already have Yoda, so probably wouldn't put him there. The reason I really don't like Yoda too much in Padme is because he's going to be gaining TM, and with this special, there's not a whole lot of TM gain because they don't gain any, really. So we're going to go with Ahsoka. But really, in most of these battles, and the battles that I've found to be the easiest to win versus, and I made a video about this yesterday, is going to be 3PO and GMY as your fourth and fifth. So Ahsoka really doesn't do too much for your team. We'll talk about her later in, but her Zeta, talking about the Zeta order for any of these tunes, she would be coming after GK as fourth. And the reason why this is such a great Zeta is because whenever somebody uses a special ability, when there's a GR leader, she's going to be called to assist using her basic, dispelling all the time with her basic. And if she crits somebody, she's going to be dispelling a debuff or cleansing a debuff. So this is a really solid unique Zeta, and I think this is really more tailored towards fighting Jedi Revan teams with Padme. So let's move on to the next one. So for the last one that I would recommend, if you aren't going to go for the Ahsoka one because you just aren't having too much luck and you don't want her critting all the time, losing to critting Malak and getting feared, which I don't like either, I would probably go for Padme after that. And the reason this is such a great Zeta, for the most part, is because you're getting protection up whenever somebody attacks out of turn or counters you, and it can't be dispelled. So that's really great in other teams that you're fighting, such as CLS with all the counters, or not Darth Revan, but Jedi Revan for all the assists and attack out of turn. So this can be useful sometimes at the start of the battle when Trooper still has a taunt and you got Retribution on the field. So whenever you do happen to attack him, which sometimes is going to be with Anakin with his basic, he's going to be getting Retribution, or he's going to be getting the extra protection up from the Retribution. And it kind of works out pretty well with getting more courage stacks in the beginning of a battle. So there you have it. So for the modding and how you want to mod this team, we're going to go for the fastest and the slowest ones. And in my my testing with Padme in general, the best 5 are going to be Padme, GK, Anakin, 3PO, and Grandmaster Yoda. And Yoda could be swapped out for R2, but I really like Yoda for his extra moves he has for the battle meditation, his stun, and his AoE, which he can swap back to his stun back-to-back turns. So that's really nice there. Don't really want to be using basic too much because he's not getting any extra turn meter, but he does get some extra protection up if he does use this when he gains foresight from 3PO being on the field. So that's what you want to use there. And the ones you want to be fastest in this team are going to be 3PO. You want him to be the fastest because you want him to get his turn before everybody else does. And he can inflict Confuse, he can inflict this other Confuses on his second special, oh my goodness, calling everybody to assist, or whoever has translation rather. And this is good early on if you want to get through Trooper, or if you want to just take out somebody early on. If you do happen to run Ahsoka, she can dispel the taunt, and then you can just go with this ability right afterwards and do some really nice damage on somebody. So I do like 3PO being on this team just for the fact that he can inflict Confuse on Malak, and he has an assist, so that's great. And not only does he do those two things, but if you come down here to Intermediary, it says right here, whenever they gain a non-unique, non-protection up buff, they gain protection up for 2 turns. So this is a great thing to have, especially in this team with Padme, and this is really why these teams with Padme work so well when you're running 3PO, because you're getting extra protection up, and you have more chance of getting courages and doing more damage to the Malaks and anybody on the Darth Revan team in general. The next one you want to be going in order for speed, and the next one you want to have the fastest is going to be 2 people really, depending on if you want to use Ahsoka or Grandmaster Yoda team. Ahsoka, like I said earlier, I don't like her too much because she crits a lot and gets feared for the most of the battle, but you want Yoda or Anakin to be going next, and the reason you want these 2 to be going next is because they have a lot of damage. They can do some big damage, taking out either, if you're stuck behind a trooper, you can get through the trooper pretty easily, and then work on somebody else with Padme's kick, like rather, you can either go for HK or Bastila, but typically you want to go for HK because he can be annihilating almost anybody on the field with his special ability. So having those 2 be after 3PO really helps this team get going, getting through these big beefy guys on the Darth Revan team. And then after those 2 guys, you want to have GK being the next fastest, and the reason this being is that he has another call to assist, and he can have a dispel, and depending on how many stacks of courage you have when it is his turn, you can choose whether or not you want to use assist or not. If you do happen to have at least 5 or more stacks of courage, I would recommend using the assist because you can do some more damage and killing pretty much in full HP tune. So it's a really good attack order and strat that I like to use with the assist or the cleanse, and there you have it. And the key to this entire team and why you want this to work so well, and why it does work so well, is having Padme be the slowest one on the team. As you can see here, my Padme is 214 speed, very beefy, very tanky. a lot of HP and protection. So the reason you want her to be slowest is so that after everybody on the Darth Revan Malak team takes their turn, she will go, dispelling all the debuffs, all the crap on the field, and then gaining that much back in protection up, and that translates back into the courage and gives you a lot more courage, dealing more damage. And that's really why this works so much, because you're getting extra protection up. As you can see here from her cutting plan, it says for each Galactic Republic ally and each debuff dispelled from themselves, they gain protection up for 1 turn. So like, let's say they have around 7 debuffs on them. When she does use this cleanse, that turns back into 7 more protection up buffs. And then if you go to her lead, it says at the start of their turn, allies dispel protection up and gain 1 stack of courage. So they're getting even more courages for the protection up. So this is really, really great here, and that's really why this whole team works so well. So there's a couple things you want to look out for here when you are fighting these Malak teams. First things first, if you want to run Ahsoka, there's really no problems with that, but the only thing I do have problems with, and what you might come across with your testing and your playing, is that she will be critting Malak a lot if he does have his turn, or if you're stuck behind his taunt. Whenever you do use a special, she'll be called to assist, and most of the time, since she has such a high crit chance, she'll be called to assist and crit Malak, inflicting fear onto herself, and the taunt comes back on Malak. And for the most part, it's going to make you lose the games, but there are some times, if you mod the team right and have it down to a T, you can still win and get around the taunt and then go for the other people like HK or Basil Sean with the big stacks of courage and big hits that you'll be doing. So that's one of the things you want to look out for. And the second thing you want to be looking out for is checking the speeds before you fight the Malak team, and checking what the speeds are on the Malak. If the Malak is slower than your Padme, this will not work. She will be getting her cleanse off, and then if the Malak is slower, Malak will use his special ability, called Torture, and if he does use this and he is a slower modded Malak, he'll use this ability next, dispelling all buffs, inflict shock, and when he does inflict shock, he gains a taunt right back. So that's really why this doesn't work. If the taunt does come back after you do the cleanse, all the stacks of courage are being wasted onto Malak, and you just can't get through him, and you can't kill anybody else. You're just stuck behind his taunt. So really what you want to be looking out for here is making sure that your Padme is slower, so that the Malak goes first, and you can do even more cleansing, getting more stacks of protection up, getting more stacks of courage. So there you have it. And when it comes to modding, we went over the speeds and what you want for the speeds, but the general modding guide and what you want to put for the mods are just going to be very basic, very easy HP sets. And here I got a couple on Padme that aren't very good at all. Literally no speed at all on these guys. I do have a few nice speed mods here on my Padme. And what you just want to go for here is a bunch of HP, a bunch of protection. I do like to go for more HP on my Padme so she can survive a little bit longer, and the death mark doesn't kill her a lot quicker than typically would if she was modded differently. And then for my GK, very similar to Padme, but in this one in particular, you want GK to have a lot more protection than its HP, so that way if Malak does use his Drain Life ability, it'll only be doing damage based on his HP. So in this case, it'll only be doing damage based on his HP, which is 44,833. And if he does have some extra protection, that will not kill him instantly, and he'll be a lot more better off and a lot more healthy throughout the battle if you mod it this way instead of having more HP instead of more protection. So there you guys have it for GK. Next up for Anakin. Right now when I'm using this team and how I'm finding my success with it is just running around 254 speed, some HP, not really any protection, max out his crit damage, and then down here has crit chance, a little bit of crit chance there, and a little bit of offense. But the main thing, there's around 2 things you want to look out for here. First thing being, you want him to have a lot of HP, as much as he can, making that he can just survive a lot longer throughout the battle, so Malak does not drain life him easier than he typically would. He's only gaining around 50% extra HP from the Padme lead here, so try to bump his HP as much as you can here. What I might do is just swap some mods around, making him a little bit more beefy, a lot more tanky. And then the second thing besides that for the HP is you want him to have as much potency as possible. Right now I have him around 79%, around 80%, but try to get this bumped up as much as you can. The more potency you have, the more chances of you landing healing immunity later on in the battle, so Malak doesn't gain any HP back. So that's really a couple of the things you want to look out for here on Anakin when you mod him. So for 3PO next, it's very similar to the others, like GK. You want to have some nice speed on him. Right now I have him 259, some pretty good HP and protection. And besides that, you could go potency if you wanted to, but really just the main things are speed and HP and protection. For Grandmaster Yoda, very similar to Anakin's, nothing really different here. HP, some offense, some speed. If you want, you can do some crit damage or crit chance, but really you just want to kind of focus on the HP and the protection, so you can last longer in the battle and stick around longer to do your big damage with courage. So there you have it. And if you do want to go with Ahsoka, I would recommend using pretty much the same exact modding guide as I told you with Anakin or Grandmaster Yoda. These three are going to be your big damage dealers in the team here. And let's see here, you get a little bit of speed, you get a little bit of HP, but like I said earlier, just HP protection. Stick with stuff like that. But with Ahsoka, it's pretty cool because her unique gives her 50%, or actually rather 80% max HP when Anakin is there, and then adding the 50% on from the lead, so she's really getting 130% extra HP. So her HP is really high at the start of the battle, so you don't really need to worry too much about her CD or CC, just worry about her HP and protection. So when it comes to modding R2 here, pretty much the same exact stuff you want to go for on either Ahsoka, Yoda, or Anakin. Just pretty much bumping up the HP protection. Survivability has to be up really high in this team. Speed needs to be there pretty close around Anakin's turn if you were to run this team with Anakin and Padme and the others. So pretty much the same exact thing as you want to mod the other two. So yeah, there you have it. So just a brief overview of what we've gone over for today, guys. Here's a few of the tips we've gone over. You want to 1. Avoid critting Malak. 2. Have Padme be slower than Malak. 3. High HP protection. 4. Kill HK before Bastila. And 5. 3PO needs to be going after Padme cleanse. And there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. This has taken me a while to put together, and my thoughts and my ideas behind this entire team as a whole. I made a few videos about this team as slow Padme team in general, and I just really want this to be something that you guys can look as a guide and a tip and trick kind of video for the future of using Padme and in Arena or just in GA/TB or TW, anything like that. And I just really hope this can be like a really solid foundation of a video for this Padme team to work really well in Arena. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like, share, and sub for more content. I do a lot of Padme stuff for the time being until we get more cool content in the game. Right now we're at a standstill with content. But yeah, if you guys did really enjoy it and you want to talk or just let me know how it went, or if you need any help with it, this team and the Padme team in general, go hit me up in Discord. It's going to be right in the description of the video, and there's a link in the below my face cam rather. And if you guys also want to help support the channel out, make sure you go check out Patreon. Go give us some help there. This really helps my channel grow and make it so I can purchase more stuff for my channel, making the content a lot better. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video for today, and other than that, guys, I'll see you later.
Nice.